Welcome back to Statistics Made Simple, and I am Savita Balsang. In this video, Solutions to Problems on Probability Part 1, I will give a small introduction to factorials and combinations which will help us to solve the problems on probability. I will also include some of the important tips which are used to solve the probability problems in this video. Let us learn about factorials. It is a product of all positive integers less than or equal to a given positive integer and is denoted by that integer and an exclamation mark. The factorial formula is given by n factorial is equal to n into n minus 1 into n minus 2 so on up to 1, which is highlighted in the purple colored box. For example, 0 factorial will be 1, 1 factorial is 1, 2 factorial is 2 into 1 which is equal to 2, 3 factorial is 3 into 2 into 1 which is equal to 6, 4 factorial is 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 which is equal to 24, 5 factorial is 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1 which is equal to 120 and so on. I will now explain combinations. Selection of objects from a group of objects where the order of selection does not matter are called combinations. The number of distinct combinations of n objects taken r at a time is given by the ratio NCR equal to n factorial divided by n minus r factorial into r factorial, where C is the number of combinations, n is the total number of objects, r is the number of objects chosen. Note that NCR can be calculated very easily using the scientific calculator, and even factorial of any integer can be obtained using the scientific calculator. Following are some of the key points which you should remember throughout the probability chapter, and it's very useful even for the random variables chapter. Now let me first start with a fair or unbiased coin. A fair or unbiased coin is a coin which has on one side head and the other side tail, and the probability of getting a head or a tail is equal to half, which is equal to 0.5. Similarly, what is a fair or unbiased die? A die which has only the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on its sides is a fair or unbiased die, and the probability of getting any number on the die will be equal to 1 by 6, which when converted into decimals is 0.1667. Also, while finding the solution for problems based on probability, convert it to decimals so that you are sure that it lies only between 0 and 1. And when the word or is used, replace by the positive sign, and when the word and is used, replace by the multiplication sign. So these are very important points to keep in mind. So let's start off with some simple problems on probability. Problem 1. Given the sample space S equal to 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and A equal to 3, 6, 9, find P of A. So in this particular problem, the sample space is given and A denotes an event. So keep in mind that we are going to use the classical definition of probability formula, which is P of A is equal to M divided by N. So let me recollect what is N. small n stands for the total number of outcomes and m stands for the number of outcomes which are favorable to a particular event. So starting with the solution, first write given n equal to 10. How did we get n equal to 10? So it is the total number of outcomes which are there in the sample space. And what is m? It is the number of outcomes which are favorable to the event A. How many outcomes are there for the event A? It is 3. Therefore, m is equal to 3. Next, write the formula for probability. We know that P of A is equal to m by n, which implies P of A is equal to 3 divided by 10, or P of A is equal to 0.3. Problem 2. If P of A is equal to 1 by 3, find P of A dash. Solution. Given P of A is equal to 1 by 3, then convert it into decimals. Take 4 places after the decimals after rounding off. So you get 0.43s. Then write the formula. We know that P of A dash is equal to 1 minus P of A. So here A is an event and A dash is its complementary event. So which implies P of A dash is equal to 1 minus 0.43s. Therefore, P of A dash is equal to 0.667. Problem 3. Find the probability of getting a head in the toss of a fair coin. Solution. Given S is equal to H, T. So this is the sample space we get when we toss a single coin. That is n is equal to 2 because there are 2 outcomes in the sample space. Now let us define event A as getting ahead. So getting ahead means there is only one favorable outcome for the event A, that is m is equal to the outcome h, which is written within flower brackets, and it's only one outcome, so m is equal to 1. Then write the formula. We know that P of A is equal to m divided by n, which implies P of A is equal to 1 divided by 2, which is equal to 0.5. Therefore, P of A is equal to 0.5. So at the beginning of this video itself, I had mentioned that the probability of getting a head or a tail for a fair or unbiased coin is half or 0.5. So this is the explanation for that statement. Problem 4. Find the probability that the throw of an unbiased die results in first subdivision the number 1, second subdivision an even number, third subdivision a multiple of 3. So let's start with the solution. Write down the sample space first. So given S is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, the total number of outcomes in this sample space is 6. That means n is equal to 6. Next, start with the first subdivision, subdivision A. Define event A. So the event is always defined in capital letters. So A is getting the number 1. So m is equal to, within flower brackets, write the number 1, which is equal to 1. So what is m? M stands for the number of outcomes which are favorable to event A, and in this case it is 1. Then write the formula for probability. We know that P of A is equal to m by n, which implies P of A is equal to 1 by 6, or P of A is equal to 0.1667. Hence, the probability of getting any number on the die is 1 by 6, as I had mentioned earlier. Let's move on to the second subdivision, subdivision B. Define the event capital B as getting an even number. So what are the even numbers on the die? They are 2, 4 and 6. So m is equal to 2, 4, 6, which is written within flower brackets, and the total number of outcomes here is 3. So m is equal to 3. Then write the formula. We know that P of B is equal to m by n, which implies P of B is equal to 3 divided by 6, or P of B is equal to 0.5. Subdivision C, let's define event C as getting a multiple of 3. So the multiples of 3 on a die are only 3 and 6. So m is equal to 3 comma 6 within flower brackets. The total number of observations here is 2. That means m is equal to 2. So right next we know that P of C is equal to m by n, which implies P of C is 2 by 6 or P of C is equal to 0.43. Problem 5. A bag contains 3 white, 4 red and 2 green marbles. One marble is selected at random. Find the probability that this selected marble is first subdivision white, second subdivision non-white and third subdivision white or green. Solution. Let us first write the total number of marbles which are given. So given total is 3 white. For white I am using the abbreviation W plus 4 red. So for red I am using capital R and 2 green. So for green I am using capital G. So the total number of marbles is equal to 9. Now we have 9 marbles and out of these 9 marbles only one marble is selected. That is n is equal to 9C1, which is equal to 9. Now when one marble is selected out of a total, you can use combinations or you need not use it. The answer will remain the same. But here I am using it to explain the concept of combinations. Okay, so I repeat again, the total number of marbles is 9 and out of these marbles I have to select only one marble. So we make use of combinations. So n is equal to 9C1, which is equal to 9. Start with the first subdivision. Define event A as selected marble is white. How many marbles are we selecting? Only one marble. So be specific in the sentence for the event. So selected marble is white means we are selecting only one marble and that marble should be white in color. So m is equal to, how many white marbles are there? There are 3 white marbles. Out of 3 white marbles I have to choose only one white marble. So m is equal to 3C1, which is equal to 3. We know that P of A is m by n, which implies P of A is 3 by 9 or P of A is equal to 0.43. Similarly, the second subdivision, define event B as selected marble is non-white. Now what do you mean by non-white? There are other 2 colors which are red and green. So selected marble is non-white means you have to choose either one red or you have to choose one green marble. So please be very careful with the word, it is or. If you use one red and one green, then the whole problem will go wrong because you'll be selecting 2 marbles. So selected marble is non-white means it can be one red or one green marble. And remember that whenever the word is or, we have to make use of the plus sign as indicated and highlighted in red color. The word or is highlighted in red color and the arrow also is highlighted in red color. So m is equal to, do the first part, one red. How many reds are there? There are 4 reds and you have to select only one red. So it is 4C1. Then or means it is plus. Next we have to select one green marble. How many greens are there? There are 2 greens and you have to select one. So it is 2C1. So on simplification, you can use the calculator here, which will give us 4 plus 2 equal to 6. Then write the formula. We know that P of B is equal to m by n, which implies P of B is equal to 6 by 9. Therefore, P of B is 0.6667. Third subdivision, define event C as selected marble is white or green. So within brackets I have written 1 white or 1 green marble. Or is highlighted in red color. So here we get m is equal to 1 white. 1 white. How many whites are there? There are 3 whites and you have to select 1. So it is 3C1. Then or you replace it by plus. You have to select now 1 green marble. There are 2 greens and you have to select 1. So it will be 2C1, which is equal to 3 plus 2 equal to 5. Then write the formula. We know that P of C is equal to m divided by n, which implies P of C is equal to 5 divided by 9. Therefore, P of C is equal to 0.5556. Understand the concepts well, practice the problems and work hard, because working hard increases the probability of serendipity. Thank you all for watching and look out for my next video where we'll find solutions to more problems based on probability.